Today we're going to be installing two marine grade speakers on the transom of our Cobalt 292. There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 speakers inside the cabin, plenty loud, but if you're anchored somewhere and you're in the water, you can barely hear the volume even though it's blasting inside. So on the transom of our 292, there's not much in the way of space to put speakers to where they're evenly spaced and symmetrical on both sides. Down there at the bottom, might be able to fit some 4 or 4.5 inch diameter, which I may do later. Same on this side. Down there in the middle, right there, same. There's not enough room for a 6.5 inch or 5.5 inch speaker. And underneath that cover, it's plenty of room, but that cover is generally closed. And then on the sides, right there and right there, there's not enough room because this entire cover comes upwards and opens, and it would snag on the speaker covers if we install them there on either one of those sides facing inwards. So the only place we can install a couple of speakers is right there. As you can see, I've already marked off the spots. I found my center and I drilled a center pilot hole. And before I use my hole saw of the correct size for the speakers we're using, before I use my hole saw, what I'm going to do is use some painter's tape to tape across this to protect the cutting edge here so we don't get any chips or anything like that. Before you put the painter's tape on, you want to drill your center hole so that you know where it is, so you don't have to figure that out afterwards, and then mask it off, and then we're going to use our hole saw. So I'm going to mask this off and then we'll go for it on the cutting. All right, now we've got our painter's tape on. You can see a little bit through it. I can feel where my center holes are, and I'm going to start with the outside one with my hole saw on my drill, and very gently and slowly go through. Don't put too much force, but also you want to apply a little bit of force so that you're cutting and not just creating like a polished surface. So make sure you have gentle pressure on there, but not too much. Let's get at it. Okay, this one's done. You can see it came off. Nice clean piece. Got a little bit of roughness around the edges. What I'm going to do is go back in there and clean that up with just a sharp edge or a nail file, a metal file, sorry. And then before we put our speaker in, I'm going to apply some 3M 4200 sealant to the edge of that. That way there's no water penetration into the fiberglass that would cause rotting problems later on. And then once that's on, then finally we'll get our speaker put in. All right, both of our holes are cut. I'm gonna go ahead and get a vacuum cleaner and get all this mess cleaned up. Then we'll clean up the edges of these holes, pull the masking tape off, apply our 3M 4200 marine adhesive and sealer, and then we'll get to the speakers themselves. Got all of the cutting dust cleaned up. Now we're gonna get all of this tape off. All right, I'm gonna go through, make sure all these edges are cut clean, and use a file to kind of smooth out the edges. Just like you would use a countersink bit on any holes you drill for screws, you also want to make sure there's a little bit of a chamfer on the edge of these. So I'm gonna go through with a file and do that, and then put some 4200 sealant on the inside lip of this, and then get my drills. I'm gonna get my drill and drill out the holes, the 4 mounting holes for the speaker with the template that's included for both of the holes, and then get the speaker installed. I use my speaker as a template, and I've got all of the holes marked, all 4 holes for each one, and we're gonna go through and with the correct size drill bit based on your speaker and the hardware that's included, we're going to get those holes drilled and go from there. And there we go. That's it. Everything's screwed in, lined up, even. I might paint these grills white to match the boat. I had repainted these vent covers, and I still have that same paint color, so might paint them, might leave them. They actually look okay with the black lines in the aquamarine deck, so I'll leave it for now. And next thing I'm going to do is run the wires to the amplifier on the front, and that should be it. I'll be ready to go. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'm going to leave the link to these Polk Audio DB652s in the description. They're extremely nice speakers. If you're looking for some speakers to add to your boat, these are amazing marine grade speakers that will not break the bank. They perform really, really well. I don't know if you can see it in the video. They're 100 watts RMS, 300 watts peak each speaker. That means for just a pair of them, you're at 600 watts peak, 200 watts RMS. That is amazing power handling capability, and they're very clear and sound really, really nice. And for the price, you can't even come close with another brand. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.